Ben, sorry about today, but still one great season coming all the way to the Nitto ATP Finals. Can you walk us through today and what are you most proud of this season?
Yeah, tough to finish out the season like this, going 0-3 at the finals. But for me, obviously a great year, a lot of positives, and tennis is full of highs and lows. So, this will just make me work harder in the off season, make me even more excited for the 2026 season. But yeah, it stings for sure, I know.
Thank you. Here is your hand for questions.
Yeah, hello Ben, congrats for all your season. I'm just wondering if you can give us a valuation of how did you felt in these last tournaments of the season after the injury in New York? How close to your best level you felt in these last months of the season?
Yeah, definitely not my best. I played one good match. I actually wouldn't say that today was a bad match either, but my match against Rublev in Paris, I thought I played well. But yeah, it's just tennis. Everybody's wired differently. Me coming back from being out for a while, it takes me a little bit to find my rhythm, and trying to do that at the end of the year when guys are in really, really good form is difficult. But for me, I'll find it. I'll find my movement, all the different shots around the court that I need. Today I played a good match from the baseline, from the net. I just honestly got outserved. That was kind of the theme. All three matches I played here, the guys served better than me. So that's not the biggest concern. I know that I have a great serve, and got to give a lot of credit at the end of this year, the way that these guys, informed players, played. There was no easy matches in my group, and came up a little bit short.
Well done today and on a great year. Just thinking ahead to next year, you mentioned about the close season. Are you someone who's kind of thinking specifically about closing the gap to the two at the top, or are you more just thinking about your own game and kind of what you need to work on?
I mean, yeah, I think you're always, for me, I'm always trying to chase the people in front of me. How I can get better, how I can be more effective, and also not losing sight of what makes me great and not trying to change too much. But yeah, certainly eye-opening, being able to play against some of the best players in the world on the things that I need to do better. And I'm not the player that I want to be yet, not close, and there's so many things that I need to work on. But for me, I'm lucky. I mean, you can look at it two ways. Either I was out for a month and a half with an injury, or I got a month and a half break, and now when I go home, it's not like I need time to decompress and not play for a while before I start training. I can kind of get right back into it.
Hi, Ben. Great season. Congratulations. How does the process of being inspired to work further and to come up with the missing pieces after such matches work for you? How does that look? Is it like immediate? When do we expect something like that to happen with you, and so on?
You mean like when you expect the improvements to happen?
Yes, how does the process look?
No, I mean, I think it's, tennis is a sport where you don't get instant gratification. So I could be working on things now this week, or have worked on things for the past 3 months, or past 2 months, or past month when I've been trying to come back, and I may not see it on the court yet, but maybe in Australia or in Paris. So at some point next year, I start to see those things come along. And it's always been like that in my career. I set a goal, I start working on it every day. It doesn't come to me right away. It's frustrating. And sure enough, down the line, as long as I continue to put consistent work in every single day, which has never really been a problem for me, I see those things start to work and start to come alive in my matches.
I mean, sorry, just to follow up to before, you've had some really good matches against the top two today, and today felt like it was really close, came down to a few points like in the breaker. How close do you see that gap, and do you have in your mind like specific things that you think you need to do to kind of to get there?
Yeah, I mean, you can't just look at it as those two. I think tennis is is a matchup sport. If you look at the top four, they're all such different players, or top five or top 10, everybody's very different, and every matchup's going to be different. And there's certain things about matchups with certain players that I love, and certain things that they probably love against me, and things that they hate. So trying to figure out how to be more disruptive looks different. If you're talking about, you know, a Carlos or a Sinner, two completely different players, or a Zverev, or, you know, Fritz, Novak, any of the guys at the top of the game, there's going to be different solutions, and you have to be able to kind of adapt on the fly when you're playing certain players, and not fall in love with a certain game plan against somebody, because you want to play your own game and try to stay true to yourself and do the things that are strengths for you. And for me, you know, I think I have a very specific style that I like playing, and that helps me play my best. But at the same time, I got to, you know, figure out ways to make guys uncomfortable.
Hi, Ben. I was wondering, you played against Jannik in different conditions, grass, outdoor hard courts, indoor hard courts. In what kind of condition is most difficult to play against him? Because here he has like an unbelievable record. You are like the only player in the last 2 years to take him to a tiebreak. He didn't concede a single set in the last 2 years. So I was wondering. Thank you.
Yeah, different parts of his game are best on different surfaces. You know, I think in Australia, it's, you know, his ability to build the point, to move you around the court. The ground strokes come alive. It helps the serve as well there, but it's really what he does after the serve. Here, indoor courts, you know, he's hitting the lines a lot on the serve. You know, he's pinpoint accuracy, and it's easier to serve indoors in general. You know, if you look at the three guys I played and how tight they were on the lines, you know, he was probably the closest of the three, but it's a small difference between him, you know, Zverev and Felix, what they've been doing this tournament. So I think that, you know, his serve makes him really, really difficult here. Obviously, the ability to take time away and hit winners from different places, from the baseline or wherever in the court, is a big advantage. So, I mean, yeah, I guess it's hard to argue that indoor hard court's not his best surface, but I think, you know, the best players adapt. The best players are great at, you know, changing little things in their game to be effective on every surface, and to be winning slams on multiple surfaces, winning, you know, a bunch of titles throughout the year on different surfaces. You got to be able to adapt, and you know, that's one of my biggest focuses going into 2026.
Jannik, well done again. You extended your indoor winning streak. Just a few words about your matchup tomorrow against Alex.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he has passed from a very tough place to one of the, you know, best places, of course. You know, I'm playing semis here. It's a very special occasion. I'm looking forward for the match. It's going to be, of course, very tough, very difficult, very physical. But I'm looking forward to it. You know, it's I'm happy that I'm in the semifinals, and we all hope for a great match.
Do you have anything in English?
Jannik, going into this match with Alex, does what's happened before make any difference? Does it matter, considering your record of 12-0? You've lost only 2 sets to him in all those matches. So obviously it's a new match and anything can happen, but does what's happened in the past have any bearing?
No, I mean, of course, you know, what happened, you know, in a way. You know, we both know what happened in the past between us in the matches we've played. He has been very close in a couple of matches, but we, you know, especially this season, we played always in different situations on the court, you know, and different type of courts, and let's see what's coming out tomorrow. You know, as I said, you know, he had a very tough loss here, where he felt a bit down. but it has changed very, very quickly in one day. This shows how tennis is, you know, that every day is different. But again, you know, it's if I see the match against Taylor, it's one of the best matches he has played this season. You know, it shows that, you know, tennis really can change a lot from one day to the other. So I'm just excited to go at least one more time on this court. You know, having the great support, great crowd, and you know, I hope I can perform in the best possible way.
Hey, Jannik, well done. There's been some discussion about maybe the Davis Cup. It would benefit the competition and the players if rather than being every year, it was, say, every 2 years or every 3 years. Carlos was talking about it yesterday, and he said, yeah, that might be a good idea. I just wondered what your thoughts were on that.
Yeah, I mean, Davis Cup is a very interesting topic, you know. For me, what, you know, every player has its own opinion, but I think, you know, playing with this scheduled Davis Cup, it's difficult that you have every year from every country the best players in the world. That what I would like, or that what I could see potentially in the future, having Davis Cup throughout 2 years, you know, so you can also set up, you know, the semifinals in the beginning of the year and the final in the end of the year, you know, somewhere, because it's also a nice where you can choose, you know, you make the coin toss, whatever, and you play in this stadium and you sell tickets, you know, because like this, if you play in Bologna and there is the matchup, you know, Australia against US, it's, of course, there are going to be spectators. I'm not saying that, but in the same time, why not making it a real Davis Cup competition and having, you know, I never, unfortunately, never played the Davis Cup, the real Davis Cup, you know, with away, you know, playing in Argentina or in Brazil, or, you know, where you have the whole stadium not against you but for the other team. And I think this is Davis Cup, you know. Now it's us Italians are lucky, you know, because we can play here. We also in Malaga, it's not far away, and we have a huge amount of people and support, and they love tennis, so people are always going to move, you know. But in the same time, as I said, and it can happen that, you know, Australia plays against US in next year, maybe in Bologna, and, you know, you don't have this Davis Cup feeling. So this is the only thing. Then, of course, you know, there are many dynamics behind what me personally, maybe I don't know, you know. So, but yeah, I would make it in 2 years, you know, that one competition goes in 2 years, and so you can set up big matches with great venues, and it makes it even bigger.
Hey, Jannik. Now that the group are over, it's kind of a new tournament that begins. What is your different? Are you in a different mindset during the group and the semis, for example?
No, not to be honest. I mean, every match counts. You know, you play every match when you go on court. Also in the round robin, you play for a lot of points. They are also important for the whole next year because they are in the system for the whole next year, and so no, it doesn't really change. I mean, it's of course semifinals is bigger stage, but this is in every tournament. The bigger it gets, then more exciting it gets. You know, so I'm happy to be one of the 4 players being in the semis, but it doesn't change a lot from the mental aspect.